All right, so this is for working. This is for week 2 or week 1, actually. Q2, Math 7 on geometry. Before we get started with this worksheet, I want to make sure you go over the different statements. So I want you to read the conditional statement.
Identify.
No. Read 1 up there. That's in red. Just read it.
If it rains.
No. Read 1 right there. Right here. Read this so you know. Read it, please.
If then statement form. If P, then Q.
Okay, number 2. Convert. Read it.
If Q, then P.
You don't even read the example. Keep going. Inverse.
If not P,
Keep going.
if not Q, then not P.
Do you see how inverse is exactly the same as the conditional statement? The only difference is there's a not implemented in there. And the contrapositive is the same thing as the converse, just that has a not, right? Read the biconditional statement.
P, if, and only if Q.
So both the conditional statement and the converse has to be true, okay, in order for the bicondition to be true. So if both are not true, or if one of them is not true, like one of them is false, the whole entire biconditional statement is false, right? So here, a figure is a square if and only if it has 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. So what you do is you go back over here. You ask yourself, if a figure is a square, then it has 4 sides. Well, yeah, a square has 4 sides, so that's true, right? So that's true for the conditional. So 1 is good. Now you look at the converse. If a figure has 4 sides, then it's a square. Well, not necessarily, because it could be a rectangle, it could be a rhombus, it could be a kite, right? So that's false. So then what happens to the biconditional statement? That is false. You have to identify the P statement, then the Q statement, and then you put it into these 5 different forms. Do you see that? Okay, let's go over the first one. Okay, number 1, read.
Identify the hypothesis and conclusion of each. If it rains, then I put my umbrella.
Identify the hypothesis and conclusion. Okay, so hypothesis. Just put H, hypothesis. If it rains, that's it. That's the beginning, right? Conclusion. I bring my umbrella. That's it.
I circled it and then I put it on your.
That's good. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. If it's Saturday, then I go to the movies. Fine. I will go swimming tomorrow if it is hot. If it's hot, so this one is a little bit reversed. Do you see that?
Yeah.
For number 3, the hypothesis is if it's hot, right? Conclusion is I go swimming. So make sure you circle it and label it correctly. Number 4. Explain what you did for number 4.
If it is I will buy it. Okay, I use hypothesis as if it is my birthday, and then I put conclusion as if I will buy it.
Hypothesis is a birthday party, right? Conclusion is I buy a gift. That makes sense. That's the ending, right? I mean, like if you're going to go to a birthday party, you should probably buy a gift. I mean, but if you buy a gift, doesn't mean you're going to a birthday party. You could be going to a baby shower. Does that make sense? So you got to think about some of these statements. Like some of them are false and some of them are not false, or true, some are false. Like if it's hot, I go swimming. Is that always true? Because if it's hot, I can go to the lake. I can go to the pool. I can go take a bath, right? If it's Saturday, I go to the movies. But if it rains, I mean, you probably are going to bring an umbrella, although you can bring a raincoat too. All right. What's the hypothesis for number 6?
I'll do better on my, okay, I don't know why.
This one's backwards.
I put conclusion, but I didn't.
Well, this one's kind of backwards. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Just like,
I don't want to do that. I'm thinking same.
oh, number 5. What did you write for number 5 for hypothesis?
If I draw on a straight line and conclusion, I will put my ruler.
Yeah,
So,
that's not backwards, right? That one is forward. So for number 6, this one is backwards. You got to be careful with that. I'm gonna put an exclamation point right there. And also I'm gonna change it to red so that way you know. What's another one that was backwards? Number 3, right? This one's backwards as well, right? So yeah, that one's backwards. All right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, write 2 other forms of each statement. Okay, so read the first one, number 7.
if you plus regular,
That's the conditional statement, right? If you floss regularly, your gums are healthier, right? So let's do the converse. What would be the converse? Because the conditional right here is this. Hold on a second. Floss regularly. This is P, correct? Gum healthier. That's Q. This is a if P, then Q. This is called a conditional statement. What is your converse? What is your converse statement going to be? You got to memorize this. So then how would you write it?
if hypothesis then conclusion.
Right, so then how would you write it?
If my gums are healthy, then I need to floss regularly.
No, then I floss regularly. Or I flossed, like I already did it. Do you see that? Okay, that's 1. But she wants 2, correct?
Okay.
So then which one do you want to pick? You have another one that you could do. What's another one you could do? You can either do the inverse or the contrapositive. Which one do you want to do? Let's do the inverse for this one. What would your inverse be? And remember, it's if Q, then P. What would be the inverse?
If you do not floss regularly, then your gums are not healthier.
Then your gums are not healthy. Not healthy. Okay, fine. That's fine. Make sure you have the not in it. Okay, let's go on to the next one, right? Let's go.
Okay, we are in the state finals if we win tomorrow.
Okay, what's your P? Make sure you label the P and Q.
Is state. My Q is a win tomorrow.
No, it's backwards. If we win tomorrow, do you see how the if is right here? That's P. This is Q. Because you see the if is like in the middle right there. So this one's backwards. Okay. So what would be your converse for this one? Actually, what you can do with this one you could do a converse and you could do, okay, let's do a converse. If Q, so what would your converse be? And actually for this one, you could do a conditional statement because that's one is wrong. So you could do a conditional. The conditional is if P, then Q, right? So how would you write that? So read it to me. How would you read that? If P, then Q.
Isn't that like,
What's your P?
okay, if we went to
Then,
we are in the same.
yeah. There you go. Now, if you had to write the converse, what would that be? And let's just do the last one. What would be the inverse be?
Inverse statement. If not,
Right, how would you write that?
if we do not win tomorrow, we will not be in the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, number 9. Where's your P and where's your Q? Is that two what? What is that? Two what? Two in?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's your P? What's your P?
Like this all numbers.
Good, that's your P, right? Where's your Q? Good. So let's go ahead and rewrite that in the conditional form first. What's your conditional form?
If you wait, okay.
If P, if it's an odd number, correct? Then Q, then it can be written as 2n plus 1. You see that? Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. But do you understand why it's written like that? A lot of people turn in their missing assignments in the last minute.
Yeah.
Are you done? Okay, next one. Number 10, read it. What's the converse?
If 2 lines are
No, what's the converse? Read your notes. What does it say? If what?
if no
So it's backwards, right? So identify the P first. And what's the Q?
two lines never crosses P, and then they are parallel with Q.
Good. So that's a pretty easy one. That's P. They are parallel lines, that's Q, right? So how would you write this backwards? Remember, converse
If they are not parallel lines, then they cross.
is if Q, then P, correct?
If they are not parallel lines, then they cross.
If they are parallel lines, then the two lines never cross. Do you see how there's like a negative there now? So you got to be careful. Do you understand? So when you do a not, it has to be like, make sure you're not doing it backwards, okay? So if I were to practice with this, what would your inverse be?
If they are not parallel, then they cross.
No. What's inverse? Inverse is if not P, then not Q. What is the inverse? How do you say the inverse?
If not P, then Q.
Right, now put those in sentences here. What would that say?
If they cross, they're not parallel.
If the two lines cross, because it's not never now, it's not never, so it's crossing, right?
Yeah.
Then they are not parallel. Do you see how you have to flip it? It's a little bit confusing there. What would your invert or your contrapositive be? So read the statement for the contrapositive. What is the definition form?
If not Q, then P.
No, if not Q, then not P. Do you put a not there? That's kind of important. What is your form for inverse?
If not P, then not Q.
Okay, so how would you write number 10 in contrapositive?
If they are not parallel lines, then they cross.
Good, you got it. Yep. All right, let's take a look at number 11. Read it, please.
All the even numbers are
Okay, identify the P and Q.
P is all even numbers and Q is by Q.
If a number is divisible by 2, so you have to go backwards, right? Then it is an even, then it is even number. It is okay, number 12, last one. Make sure you identify, make sure you underline the P's and Q's.
I did. Underline them.
So what was your converse then? Read your converse.
If Q, then P.
Yeah, so how would you read that? If Q, so what is Q?
I'm done.
If X equals,
If X equals 7, then
go get your laptop and take the test.
X plus 4 equals.
Then go open his laptop.
Get out of here.
Leave him alone. Here, I'll give
No
you another
one
laptop.
likes you.
Are you ready to take your test?
If-
Yeah, I'm done.
You want to take it right now? Okay. Then what?
Someone down.
Then X plus 4 equals 5.
Is that true or false?
True. True. Yeah. 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 is equal to 11.
My only thing is like, you can have another equation that also give you 7, right? Okay. All right, so we're done with this. Are we done? What about number 11? Is that true or false?
True.
Okay, you can use this one. What about number 10?
Then true.
That's true, because if it's parallel, it's definitely false, right?
Yep.
Like
I totally didn't.
Okay, for number 10, what is the inverse of number 10? Read it for me. I love you, Mom. You still need to find your book here, but I got you a temporary one, okay? I got you a temporary one. It means one that you're gonna borrow for now, but you still need to find it. What's the inverse of number 10? Read the inverse statement.
If the two
they
are not parallel.
So inverse is if not P, then not Q, right? So the two lines, okay, if the two line crosses, because not never means it's now crossing, right? So if the two line crosses, then they are not parallel lines. Is that what you said? What is the inverse of number 11? Let me see, bring it over here.
If there are not even numbers and they are not divisible by 2.
If the numbers are not even, you don't have to put not even numbers.
If the numbers are not even, then they are not divisible by 2. Is that good? Good. 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 Good.
Maddie, go read the next book or something. Did you finish your math homework? All right, so we're done with this. We now need to move over here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look over here. What is your, is this due tomorrow? What is if don't, then what?
If part, then part. The hypothesis.
Okay, fine.
The conclusion is
Fine. What is your conditional statement here? Or what is your statement? What does she write down here?
Statement written if then form. P then Q. If P then Q.
Is this done then? Do you need me to help you with anything?
Oh.
Okay, so this is done.
No, I didn't.
Okay, then what about this one? Did she give you a statement for this one?
No.
Okay, but then your biconditional statement, you gotta do this one. So what's your conditional statement? Read the conditional statement for me. I can't read it very well.
Okay.
What is your conditional statement?
Equals have right angles, then they are 90.
If two angles have right angles, that's your P, correct? Then what?
Then they are 90.
All right. And that's your Q, correct? Okay, so from this, I want your, well, this part is your conditional, right? So remember for your biconditional, both the conditional have and both the conditional and converse or inverse have to be, right? No, is it inverse? No, converse have to be correct. So what's your inverse then? What's your inverse for this?
If two angles have are right angles.
No, it's like
Oh,
if two angles are 90 degrees, then they are right angles. You just have to reword it so it sounds good. Does that make sense?
what is if?
No, or no, I meant converse, not inverse, converse. So just remember, conditional, they're both C's. You see that? They're both C's, okay? So conditional is if P and then Q. Converse, still with conditional, both P's, right? If Q, then P. So you just go backwards, okay?
If,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So then let's go down over here, biconditional. So biconditional, what I want you to write in the front for this one. So biconditional statement, right? P, right? P if and only if Q. All right, both the conditional and converse statement have to be true. Okay, so then underneath it is a conditional. Is that true or false? If two angles have right angles,
That's true.
then they are 90 degrees. So that one's true, right? Do you agree with that? So what about the converse? If two angles are right, they are right angles.
Yeah.
That's also true. Since both are true, so on the bottom, we're gonna write, since both the converse or conditional. No more candy. Go brush your teeth, please.
Daddy, it's a big back there.
Stop. Are true. The biconditional statement is also true. Does that make sense? Did you talk about this in class? Did you guys take notes today?
I mean, this is technically dead, but like worst way possible. We could have done it in the notebook, but no.
What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to turn this down or just put it in your notebook?
You're supposed to keep it on. I could put it in my notebook.
Let's fold it and tape it to your notebook.
These are getting weird.
Why?
Like people are in a position like this, like boys are in a position like this.
It doesn't matter. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Are we done? Okay. Stop. I don't want to hear it.